Like the cat comes in the morning and she's like, welcome back to another episode of MiniBrute 2 Cookbook Tutorial Series, where I go through all the recipes in the MiniBrute Cookbook, cook them up, and we see how they taste. We see how they flavor. All right, so today is I'm really excited to do this one. This is the Meow by Victor Morello. Now, Meow. The recipe says, what good would a patchbook be without a cat sound? Adjust the VCO1 FM knob and the AD decay time to get different meows. So, this is mechanically pretty straightforward. This is another one that's like very flavor oriented. So you want to pay attention to the actual sounds involved, the timbre. You're looking for a particular personality out of this cat, right? How to get there isn't too hard. It's just manipulating some things, and you have to pay attention to what you're manipulating. There's cat hair in my synth. That's amazing. What are the odds? So let's get rid of all this malarkey. Get everything back to like normal. If you can call it normal. What's normal anyway? You know what I mean? Who's normal these days? I don't like normal people. Normal people scare me. Okay. So now we're back to well, that was supposed to be on trigger anyway. That's okay. We'll get it right. So, as always, let's start with some sound. We got to hear something, right? Let's get our saw wave oscillator up. All right. We have tone. Let's get our cutoff set so we can actually like hear. So, it's calling for it to be a pretty low cutoff, which seems weird because like we're looking for a meow. A meow is a cat. Cats are pretty high pitched, right? Not as high as like birds say, or whatever. But like, so let's start a little higher up, and we can't hear anything. No. Well, we need to open and close that filter accordingly so we can actually hear something, right? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our FM knob up. FM1 for the cutoff. This is the frequency modulation for the cutoff filter, right? Get some resonance in there. It's still not moving, right? So we need to actually make it move with the ADSR envelope that is wired to here. So as the attack, decay, sustain, release, as this stuff does stuff, it's affecting this. The FM knob adjusts how much this affects that, right? So we're going to take our attack up a little bit. Ooh, now we got some movement, right? But we want it to stay open. It's coming up. It's coming up. And then just shutting again real fast, because that's how the decay works, right? Attack is how long it goes up. Decay is how quickly it comes back down. Sustain is where it comes back down to. And then release is how long it drops off after the sustain, right? So if we have everything kind of neutral, you can hear it takes a minute to come up, and then it drops back down to about halfway. And then when I let go, it just drops off. Well, it actually drops off because the amplitude is dropping off. So let's get this back to where it's supposed to be, and then we'll come back to that in a second. So we get some attack in here just to kind of like let the tone come up, some decay. So it takes forever to come back down to the sustain point. The sustain point we're going to leave all the way at the bottom. But the release, we're going to give it some release. And then let's adjust our amplitude. So our attack and decay needs to come up. So the attack amplitude is now longer than the envelope amplitude. So the filter is opening up faster than the amplitude is going up, which if you've ever seen a cat meow, they open their mouth, like at least my cat, I don't know. She opens her mouth more before the sound even comes out. So it kind of makes sense that way. Right? So the other thing is it called for this to be in trigger mode, which I'm not sure I 100% agree with. I'm not sure I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the way that works out. Except that the fact that, you know, it kind of keeps all the meows a consistent length, which if you're looking for that, there you go. That's fine. You get what you want. If you're not, like, I mean, I don't know. That's just a functionality thing. That's just a personal preference. But the key here is to make sure that you're number one, you're a high enough pitch that it actually sounds like a cat. Number two, you have to have just enough resonance. If you have too much, it starts to sound like a video game. So you want enough that you get that kind of like you get some formant movement in that filter, all right? So now we're also going to take this one step further. Because the ADSR is naturally pre-routed to this, I don't think it bypasses if we take the ADSR out. Maybe it does. I don't remember. Okay, so even though I've now patched the ADSR to the FM, the ADSR envelope still affects the FM and the cutoff, right? Oh, right, that makes sense. Because it's pre-wired to go to the FM, not... Yeah, okay, so there you go. We're almost there. The only thing we have left to do, you hear how it's like, the cat's like singing. Meow, meow, meow. Like it's a static pitch. It's a static tone. Let's make it move. So by putting the ADSR envelope also into the frequency module, or the FM for the oscillator, we can adjust how much the tone, the pitch will be modulated up and then back down based on this envelope. So now it actually sounds more like it's an alive cat, you know? That's why I like it on gate. Because you can hold it and it does that, like, it'll just kind of... go till you let go, or... she can get progressively angrier and hold those notes out even longer, right? Like the cat comes in the morning and she's like... just trying to get your attention. Hey, I'm hungry. And then you're like still sleeping because you're a bear. So you're like, you know, just snoring away and she's... yeah, and then she has a total bid depth breakdown. All right, that got weird. But you see what I'm saying? Then she's mad. So there you have it. There's a meow. It's not terribly complicated. It's just kind of like, you know, you just got to feel it out and give that cat the personality you think it deserves, right? As always, experiment, play around, have fun, figure out what you like to do with it, figure out what sounds good to you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!